Welcome, collectors, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Diecast Emporium. So, for those of you that tried to join me for the live session, I tried to do this over a Diecast Emporium live stream, but unfortunately we were having some pretty severe connectivity issues, so I figured the only fair thing to do was actually just to film this in a more traditional style, and then upload it when the internet connectivity issues were resolved. So that's what we're going to do. So I appreciate those that tried to join me for the noon live session, but no matter, we're going to improvise, adapt, and overcome, and we're going to do this more in a traditional format. So, the theme of this video, I'm going to be giving you guys an update on my HO scale car repair maintenance facility. So I first started working on this back in January of this year. The main building here, obviously the main focal point of this video, this is a kit by Walther's Cornerstone, and it's the fire department repair facility. So if you were to look it up, that's what you would type into your computer, or ask your hobby shop for if you have a Train hobby shop local to you. But what I decided to do is make it into a large repair and maintenance facility for just standard automotive needs. That kind of fit my layout and what I needed in my city more. So, but this is not obviously the way it was supposed to be used, so I've added a lot of detail to this since, and that's really what I wanted to kind of show you guys. We'll also be going over the tow truck fleet that I have that goes alongside this, and then obviously some customer vehicles and some other doodads, if you will, that I've done for this. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. As I always like to do, let's start out with some of the vehicles that are out in front of this building. We'll start out with the cars that are either worker vehicles or customer cars that have been finished with getting service done to them. So we have a Viking Volkswagen Passat. Pretty nice car. Pretty highly detailed. All these Viking cars are. Specifically, anything they do for Volkswagen, for one reason or another, is always a very detailed model. Next up, we have a Hot Wheels 2006 Honda Civic Si. The only thing this is really missing is side view mirrors, which I wish, obviously, Hot Wheels would have done. But way back in the day, they used to sell these in stores, so you can find these in Target and Walmart. And Hot Wheels had a pretty extensive line of HO scale models. I wish that they would go back to doing that, because there certainly is a large market for it. Here we have a late 90s Mercedes. I think this is an E-Class station wagon. Could be wrong on it, but looks pretty good. We have a Ryko, say it how you want to, 2006 Dodge Charger. They did a bunch of different variations of this, whether they did police cars or civilian vehicles such as this. This one obviously in like a red color. One of my favorites, this is a Subaru WRX. This one, though, is right-hand drive, which obviously if I didn't say that, you wouldn't really have noticed. But very nice tuner car, still very popular. We have a River Point Station Ford Super Duty. I think this is a, pardon me while I bring it close to me so I can read it. I think this is a 350. A little bit hard to read in HO scale, obviously, because it's tiny. And it doesn't say underneath other than Ford F-Series 2008. Any of these River Point Station Fords are very nice. A little expensive, but nice products. Another Viking model, Volkswagen New Beetle. Probably early 2000s. Next up, we have a Ryko Chrysler 300. There's that one. Ford Mondeo, which was sold as the Fusion here in the States, which is why I have it in the collection. And a BOS, which is Best of Show 2003 Hummer H2. Any of these BOS or Best of Show models, very, very high quality, very high detail. I would recommend any of them. All right, moving over here, we have one of the newer mini champs. Is this a Focus or Fiesta? This is a Focus. So this is a Focus RS. I think they did 4 or 5 colors for each of these, each of the Focuses and the Fiestas. I really liked this color in particular for this one. And over here, we have, these were sold in, I think, packs of 50. This is a no-name brand, so it's just a whatever. Plastic, Chinese, HO scale car, again, sold in large packs, which I took a hammer to, so that it looks like, it gives the appearance that it was in a head-on MVA. So it's being dropped off here. Obviously not to be repaired, but it's probably going to be totaled out for insurance reasons and the like. So he's being delivered courtesy of our new rollback tow truck. This is a Walther Scene Master International Durastar rollback tow truck. Pretty decent functionality on here, including a fully working rollback tow truck. The only things on here that I could have asked for to be added is a warning light up here, and then maybe a tow bar behind so you can have a second vehicle being towed. But again, for HO scale, can't really complain that much. Here's an older version of that, which is really a Boley, one of the same thing. Both doors read 24-hour service, 24-hour towing. Here's a more conventional style tow truck. This one I happen to like quite a bit. Again, a Boley Scene Master model, but it was, or I'm sorry, a Walther's Scene Master model taken from a Boley casting back in the day. Does come with the cones. You can see the black right here, the sticks to operate the tow truck part on both sides. So lots of detail casted in here. This does extend out, as you can see, and you can drop this down as well. So here's an older one. This was never released as you see it here. I took off the Durastar cab and added an older 4300 style cab, just to have, you know, an older one in the fleet. This one does not have the 24-hour towing on the door. Okay, keep moving on. Another brand new addition to my collection. I picked this up just a couple weeks ago at my local train show, which returned after a year absence. This is the Athearn Ford 850 Super Duty heavy old school wrecker. They did a bunch of these in multiple different liveries. Obviously, I wanted to hunt down the red one, which I finally found to match the rest of the fleet. And it says Penn Towing and Salvage with the phone number on the door. You can see the thin pieces of thread to give the illusion of the cable. Just a really, really nice old school heavy wrecker. There's the front. If you have the chance to pick any of these up, I definitely would bite the bullet and recommend it. Especially if you can get one for between 45 and 50 bucks, I would recommend it. Okay, here we have another Athearn model. Say it how you want to. Technically, both are correct. This is the Ford C-Series. I was hesitant whether or not I wanted to throw this in here or not. I figured it would make a good addition, especially on larger car accidents or whatever, just to have, you know, a kind of an equipment truck, a mechanic's truck, just come out and help clean up the accidents. So that's why he's here. The Ford C-Series was a very popular truck back in the day, the 60s, 70s, even into the early part of the 80s. A very universal cab and chassis. You saw many fire trucks that are C-Series, tractors, dump trucks, just about everything you can think of, and obviously box trucks as you see here. And then the last truck, at least for the red stuff anyway, not sure what I'm going to do with this one. This is kind of a bare chassis and cab I had laying around. I don't know if I'm going to make this into a dump truck. Maybe you guys can leave some suggestions down at the bottom what I could turn this into to complement the wrecker fleet. I do have these over here. They don't match this fleet. I'm contemplating whether or not I want to make this into its own separate business. Obviously, the red stuff would be attached to, you know, just a standard smaller repair shop. And then leave the blue heavy wreckers to like a heavy rescue and heavy recovery company all to its own, which I think is more of what I'm leaning to at this point. But for those that may not be familiar, these are the RWR Western Star, what is this? Western Star 6900 XB heavy wreckers. This one has been heavily customized by me. You can see that the wheels and tires have been swapped out. These tires and wheels were from a Norscott 187 scale truck, of which I have many over the years, so it wasn't that big of a deal to swap these out. I have also highlighted the tow bar, the winch, the cable. I've highlighted that in black. Your main emergency light, that's been highlighted. Your rotating light has been highlighted. Your horns, your running lights, even the turn indicators. You can see here I've highlighted in some orange paint, just to give this truck a lot of detail to it. That's the customized one, and then just to show you the differences, here's the bone stock one. So you can see that the differences are pretty large. So yeah, I'm thinking about leaning towards that being a separate business. I know that there's a red one of these Western Star trucks that would kind of sort of fit in. I was thinking about maybe hunting one of those down, but since I have 3 of these, basically, I thought maybe I would just start my own company with a heavy rescue and recovery service, have it be another building for the layout. Okay, speaking of buildings, that's a good transition to take a look at what we have here. That's the main element, obviously, of the auto repair shop. Just some of the details outside that we can see immediately. These safety and guard posts are a relatively new release by Scene Master. They come in a pack of 20. They're well worth the money, in my opinion, because they really bring alive your fire departments, or really in this case, a repair shop as well, because you always have these safety posts outside of the bays, and I just think it's such a small detail, but it's worth it. We have a bench out here for 2 customers that are waiting. Now, if you guys will bear with me, I'm going to take you on a little trip, and we're going to see what's inside here. All right, so obviously there's a lot of stuff going on inside our little repair shop here. All of these banners on the wall, I designed and printed myself. They're obviously stickers. We have these figure sets. These are from, I believe these are from Woodland Scenics, and they're an auto mechanic set. There's 6 in the set. They're a little bit older. You can tell that they're kind of supposed to be from probably the 60s or the 70s decade, but obviously when you have them set up, you can't really tell. So this guy's over here changing a tire. This guy's examining. This guy's looking over the hood. This guy's tightening some lug nuts. This guy back here is mounting a tire. The other accessories, such as the jack, such as the tool cart, and these 2 posts, these 2 car lift posts, those are by a shop mechanic kit by Bush. You also get this engine hoist as well. Well worth the money, in my opinion. You also get these trash cans, these little floor drains as well, which I've mounted 3 of them. You can't really see in here, it's a little bit hard, but you also get this wall-mounted tool stand. There's a couple bumpers here. All of those come in that set. Finally, over here, we have just some customer cars that have been finished with either, tire rotations or oil changes, or just, just some standard service done to those. So that pretty much does it, guys. That will conclude my review of the car maintenance facility. Little diorama setup that I have going on. So let me know what you guys would like to see. If you have any suggestions, I'm always open to hearing more. Definitely let me know what you'd like to see done with this truck. Maybe a custom body or something on the back that you have in mind. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care and be safe. I'll see you in the next Diecast Emporium review.